Hey, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. My name is Geoffrey Semaganda, and I'm the founder of the Action Wealth Academy, the Action Wealth System, and the Action Wealth series of guidebooks and training programs that work with individuals and companies all over the world. We help them to become more competitive in their local market as well as national or international, because today the marketplace is becoming more competitive than it was before, and that's never going to change anytime soon. So we give you strategies and ideas to help you be more competitive, to stand out from the crowd, but also take you a step further to look at your business model, your topic, your ideas, and see how we can create multiple streams of income within that business model. Because today, gone those days when you can just rely on one or two incomes. Actually, the wealthy individuals, they've always been wealthy because they have multiple streams of income. But also we take them a step further, we teach them about financial understanding about their business model. Because too many people were rich yesterday and they're poor today because they learn to generate an income, but they don't learn to protect it, to make it work for them so they can go on and make a difference by creating foundations and programs to make a difference in the world. And that's what we do. Now, for this particular video, I just wanted really to take this opportunity as the new year beginning 2015 to give you a series of video training programs that I believe you need to help yourself to get yourself started, make this year the best year you have ever had. Because you see, I don't know about you, because people have these resolutions every single year and at the beginning of the year, and after a couple of months, 3 months, they forget about this. I don't want you to do the same. I want you to make a decision by saying that this year is going to be different because you're going to double your income. Why do I use the concept of doubling your income? Is because you see, we get paid based on the value we bring to the marketplace, and I want you to understand, in order for you to make more money, to double your income, triple or quadruple, you need to improve yourself, you need to grow as a person, you need to increase your stock value. And in order for you to do that, the cheapest way and the quickest way and the smartest way to do it is by deciding to teach others. Yes, you heard me right. This video program is about helping you take your knowledge, expertise, wisdom, experiences, and turn that into an income. But in order for you to do that, you have to be committed that you're going to invest everything that you're going to require in order for you to stand out as an expert in this particular industry. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So where should we begin? Well, we begin from a concept of understanding that you have to treat this, first of all, as a business. And like any business, there have to be some kind of a business plan. And with any business plan, you have to have some kind of projection amount of money you want to make in a year. So in this particular case, I want you to get a piece of paper and write down how much money you want to make this year, 2015, in the next 12 months. Now, whatever that time you're watching this video, deciding next 12 months, I'm going to make this amount of money. And if you want to add an extra income, I want you to look at this industry of teaching others, people, sharing your knowledge and expertise and experiences with others. I want you to start from $100,000 and above. Now, if you never earned $10,000 before, you're thinking, Geoffrey, you must be crazy. I can't do that. Well, unfortunately, I understand where you're coming from, but I want you to start from that way of thinking, because even if you don't make that, at least you do 10 times the amount of money you've earned before, or 2 times or 3 times, it doesn't matter. But I want you to think about it as this is a six-figure US dollars income or business opportunity, because from there, you will understand this is a serious business. You will take it very seriously. You will understand a business that creates $100,000 in income must have created minimum $1 million in value to the marketplace. Let me repeat that. Every single dollar you make in this industry, you must have created at least 10 times that amount of money in value to the marketplace. Now, for those of you who have a problem with making money, I want to quash that away from you from now by saying, in order for you to make money in this industry, you're going to make a difference in so many people's lives. You're going to impact the economy much more. So you deserve every single penny you're going to get. Because let me tell you, people won't just hand over the money to you just because you can talk. They give you money because they get to know you, they get to trust you, because you're actually genuinely adding value to their lives. And with that in mind, I want you to now forget about the issue about talking about money, and I'll catch up on that. I'll come back to that particular issue, because that's the reason most people are actually broke, because they have the association with money is so bad that they think making money is a bad thing. Let me tell you something. Someone said something very important to me years and years ago. He said, if you want to help the poor, don't join them. So I want you to make a decision how much money you want to make this year, next 12 months. Write down the number from 100,000 minimum US dollars and more. Why do I choose that amount of money? Because I want you to understand any business that's worth knowing. When you expect to make some amount of money in income, you also need to expect some amount of investment in that particular business. In this particular case, it's you who's going to generate that 100,000 or $250,000, a million, whatever amount of money you write on a piece of paper right now. So it's gonna be you to invest in who? In you. So when I started earlier, I said, in order for you to increase your income, you have to increase your value. We get paid based on the value we bring to the marketplace. In order for you to be valuable, you need to invest in yourself. In order for you to make that investment work well and get the return, 100 times more return for that investment in you, is decide to teach what you know or what you're learning to others. That's what we call expert. This is the expert industry. This is where people who step up and identify themselves that I'm good, I'm prepared to learn this, they're the one actually really are changing the world today, because they've taken what they know, they packaged it well, and they're sharing with the people. They're solving problems for other people every now and then. You don't know how many times I have problems and I'm stuck and I go to Google or YouTube and I find a solution because somebody put that solution there. And if I get to 3 solutions from somebody, in the end I end up getting to know them. We end up doing something together, or sometimes I buy something from them. So the world is really responding to those that are prepared to teach. So if you now written down how much money you want to make, let me so tell you exactly, that in order for you to do that, I've said earlier, you need to invest at least 10% of the amount of money you're hoping to make in this particular industry. Now, you might be sitting there and say, Geoffrey, I wrote down 100,000, but I don't have $10,000 to invest right now. That's not the point I'm talking about here. I'm talking that in principle, your attitude of understanding any business, you must be prepared to invest some kind of money. Don't expect to earn that kind of money without putting anything in. You know, what you sow is what you're going to reap. So many people, they're hoping, I want to make $100,000, I want them to come to me. Well, it doesn't work like that. In the real world, it doesn't work like that. You have to invest more, you have to be better, stronger, more competent. In order for you to earn the money you never earned before, you need to become the person you have never been before. That's going to take a lot of input in you, a lot of commitment, a lot of hard work. But the good news is, you're working on something that you love. So that brings me to another point. Choose a subject that you like. Now, even if you're not good at that subject, but you'll be prepared to learn that if you chose to do that. And you can even do it for nothing, even if nobody paid you. If you could pay your bills with anything else, you will do that because you love it. You see, so many years I've never really used speaking as my way of generating an income. Even I've used speaking to open more doors for me. But I love to speak. You give me 1 second, I'll take an hour. I'm just learning. I just learned after a period of time to do less talking, do more listening. But really, I just love to share ideas and concepts. I love to go and work with young people, and people seem to be feel that they're stuck. I love to find people who struggled for so long and they don't find a breakthrough, because I was like that, to help them overcome those particular issues. So with that in mind, what I'm asking you to do for me is to really remember that in order for you to move from where you were to where you want to go, 2 things has to happen. You've got to make a decision that you're going to help as many people as possible, teaching them what you know. So let's talk about how you start. Well, the first thing is I'm going to teach you the 3 P's of this expert industry. The first thing is you need to decide that you're going to position yourself in a certain aspect, in a certain area, in a certain niche. You're going to say, this is what I love to learn. This is what I'm going to learn. This is what I'm going to concentrate on. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to teach. So choose a specific subject, whatever the subject is. Especially choose something that you love, you've been doing for some time, you have experienced it at. Because if you choose something you hate, you're going to be talking about it for the next 2-3 years. You're going to get sick about it. So please stick with something that you know. That's called positioning. You position yourself in an area, and when they think about that particular subject, that particular issue, they think about you. And that's what I want you to think of. When people think about something, if you chose to say, I'm going to learn to repair cars, a certain type of a car, and you position yourself somebody who know everything about that car, every time somebody think about that car, they will think about you. So decide that. And the next thing is, now we need to package you as somebody who is an expert in that area. Why? Because you can't be in too many different places at a time. You can only be in one place at a time. But when you package yourself and create the way how you can get your name out there, by packaging yourself in programs and where people are prepared to pay for, if you don't put something in front of people to buy, they can't buy it from you. So yes, you're an expert, but you need to create stuff that people will be able to buy and use for their own benefit, because that's the reason why you created this for in the first place. And then the third part is, now once you've created those programs and products, now you get out there and start promoting yourself. So the 3 P's I'm talking about: one is how to position yourself, choose a topic, choose a niche. Yes, your message should be for everybody, but you can't market to everyone. So you choose a market, choose a niche, and concentrate and focus on understanding the needs for those people, what their frustrations are, and start working towards serving that market in that particular field. So 2, create programs that people are prepared to pay you for, so that even if when you're not there, they're able to benefit, because you want to reach people all over the world. In this industry, we're talking about programs like books, audio books, training programs, DVDs, home study courses, webinars and seminars and stuff like that. And obviously the final part, get out there and let the world know who you are and what you do by collaborating and share your knowledge with people all over the world. Yes, initially you're going to share for free, because people buy from people they know, people that to trust. You listen to this because I'm giving you this for free. I want you to learn, I want you to get to know me, and hopefully one day we do business together. But that's how you're going to get to know me. So I don't know how you found me, whether on Facebook or on social media or through Google, or we just know each other. Whichever way you manage to find me, I'm here sharing something that I know will benefit you. And if in the future you find it useful, you share with others. If you don't, you just disregard it. Nobody has all the answers. Remember that. We all just give you what we know. And this is what I know right now, what I believe. I try these strategies, and I've seen people all over the world for the last 15 years using these strategies to be able to see them working for them. So don't take them because it's free. You take for granted. This is all there is to it in order for you to help you move from where you are to where you want to be. Because remember, anybody who has something to sell, anybody has the confidence of the specific topic, they know something, they never ever go around struggling to fail to have something to eat, to fail to be able to get a job or to get a contract or to be able to feed their family or take care of themselves, let alone go on to greater stuff. Before you worry about making millions, you got to learn how to make a few thousand to take care of yourself. And in order for you to do that, you need to add value to the market. Okay, so what are we talking about now? What is positioning? Well, I just said choose a topic. What is packaging? Create programs. Well, how and what kind of programs are we talking about here? Well, remember, people consume your message in 4 ways. Okay, 4 ways, not 3, 4. 1, they will read your message through books, books on ebooks and special reports and printed material and newspapers and emails and anything that basically they can read. So you need to create something that they can read. They also need to listen to you. Create something they can listen to, like audio programs, MP3 players, things they can listen to in their cars or on the train or on their phones, because people are so busy they don't have time to read. Sometimes some people prefer to listen than reading. 3, people need to watch you. Like now you're watching this video. Maybe we haven't even met yet, but you're watching this particular video. So create things people can watch, like DVD, web videos, YouTube videos, things that basically people can take away and listen and watch on their computer screen, on their phones, and so on and so forth. And the final part, experiencing you, where people can come and spend time with you in seminars and workshops and trade shows and conventions and places where can come and spend more time with you. So those are the 4 areas. You should create programs in those areas. Now, but maybe right now you're wondering, but come on, Geoffrey, what are you talking about me creating on that stuff? I don't know anything. I'm not really an expert. Well, the fact you're still watching this, yes, you are. Of course you are. An expert is somebody who's decided that I am going to be an expert. You see, remember, somebody said to me years ago that if you read one book a week on one subject, one book a week on one specific subject, within 12 months, 52 books on one subject, we become one of the top 10 experts in that particular industry. Now that really shocked me. He said most people don't even read more than 10 books on specific topics, so don't worry about it. You're becoming the top 10 experts in the world. So I'm like, are you telling me all of a sudden I read 52 books in one subject in 1 year? I can compete with other people who really seem to say they know, but they never spend that much time really focusing and understand that particular industry? Of course. So a choice of becoming an expert is in your hands. You can choose to, you can choose not to. One thing I do know, the good old Lord might keep you alive, and this time next year we might meet again and have this conversation. So decide, are you going to be a better person? Who's stronger, wiser, more competent, because by choice you chose to just read instead of watching television, instead of watching something can help you grow instead of watching the X Factor. It's really entirely up to you. Also, if you listen to one audio per day for 1 hour, you become the top 10 experts in the world. You know, because remember, we tend to forget more. Reading takes more out of you. But I tell you, if you do that, it's almost the same thing. If you watch half an hour video per day on the same issue, same subject, exactly you achieve the same thing. So don't say, oh, Geoffrey, I'm not very good at reading. Well, you can listen. Anybody can listen to something. You got an hour in a day. You got 24 hours. We'll have 24. You can take at least 1 hour to listen to something that can help you be better, wiser, stronger, more competent in that particular subject. Or you can watch half an hour YouTube video or video programs on that particular subject. Don't confuse it by watching everything that comes to you, or only on that subject that is helping you to become an expert in that particular subject. Of course, you can never become an expert by reading and listening, but at least you know more. By knowing more, you know what you need to do to practice that. Of course, to reach the 5%, you're going to have to practice that. To reach the 3%, you're going to have results. So does that make sense? So these figures are not exactly they're supposed to be. They're figures that I know, I've seen, I've had people use, the figure that I'm comfortable with. I know they work. So in your case, you can choose to become an expert. And what kind of expert are we talking about? Well, there are 3 types. There's one who done it, been there, won the t-shirt. Somebody has achieved some results. Some of you, maybe you worked with a company who achieved something, overcame some kind of strong challenges, whether you're a mother or a father, or you were a student who've been doing well in certain subject, or you're a sports, you're a musician, or something that you know you're interested in, you achieve some kind of results, and you know you can actually use that to share with other people. These are the people been it, done it, won the t-shirt. Okay, a results expert. And there's what we call a reporter type expert. This is someone who never achieved success himself, but he loved a specific subject and he decided to go and study and research some of the best people in the world who best succeeded in this particular area. And he decided to report and share those strategies with people all over the world. Now that person can actually also become an expert, but it's a reporter type expert. So if you're an 18-year-old watching this or 15-year-old watching this, say, Geoffrey, I don't know anything. Well, you can become a reporter. Choose a subject that you like and can start teaching in that area by researching the best people in the world who do that. So which basically means anybody can be able to do that. And there's the third type of an expert, is what we call a role model type. This is the person kind of in between the expert and the result expert and reporter type. Somebody who basically seem to be people follow you all the time. You know, I know so many people in the communities who are known. For some reason they have achieved that status of being role model, but they don't understand that what they have is valuable. They don't actually use that to their advantage, and the community is not benefiting from it because they have not made it their business to understand that this is something I'm going to stand to specific standard. So those are the 3 types of experts. So you could be somebody already achieved some kind of success. You can become a result expert. You can be one of those people who never achieved anything. You can become a reporter expert. At the same time, you can also learn to become that. So many examples I can give you. I think the one, if you're watching this video, you've seen so many unauthorized books and programs on large corporations, on successful individuals. Even one of the best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill wasn't rich himself, but he reported, on the richest people in the world and wrote Think and Grow Rich, a classic, best-selling book of all time in the wealth creation arena. So in the way, what I'm saying to you, you can be able to do that. And then role models, there's so many people who can think of. You could be one of those, but I can only think of people like Oprah, achieve success, but also to study other people. Oprah, whatever she said, people can actually follow. I'm not saying you Oprah, I'm saying think about people like that, or you could be that kind of a person. So with that in mind, anybody can become an expert, but you have to make a choice. You need to think of it as a business, like I said earlier. How much money you're going to make, how much investment you're going to make, how much time and effort you're going to basically put in. Okay, so now let's talk about what kind of products can you basically create in this industry that you can use to promote yourself and develop the credibility and develop the authority that you need to reach people all over the world. And now with these products I'm describing, they're not in a specific order, even though I believe the specific order I'm taking you through this could be useful for you on how you start. Because that people start with a book or an audio book or a seminar, whatever. All those are absolutely no problem. But for me, sometimes I prefer, if you have not created anything yet, I'll suggest you start with a book. Now, when I say write a book, most people get scared. They say, come on, Geoffrey, first of all, how can I write a book? Am I able to write a book? I don't have enough to write a book. Well, anyone can write a book. If you can talk, you can write. If you're interested in a specific subject and you're prepared to learn it, you can be able to write. So anybody can write. Don't let nobody lie to you that all those bestsellers, they really sat down under the tree and the word just came out of the woodwork, and all of a sudden they just sat there and the word just came through their heads, and all of a sudden they start writing. People give me this thing, I've got mental block, writer's block. Well, listen, I'm not a writer. All I know is that when I want to put something on paper, I'm excited about it, I go and write it. I'm not one of those incredible writers, but for me, when I find something frustrate me and I just get a piece of paper, I get a digital recorder and I start going. And when I'm not ready, I'm not ready. When I'm ready to go. So anybody can write, but if you can't write, we can show you a way how you can take information out of your head, or I can help you take that information out of your head, turn into a structured outline that it can now create, work with you and work with our team to help you write a book. And please, if you're going to write a book, write a book. Why? Make sure that book is going to stand out and is going to give you the credibility that you're looking for. Because books do one thing more than anything else. They give you the credibility that you need to establish yourself that you are an expert in that particular field. So if you understand that, then remember that all other programs we're going to talk about in a second, they have to come from the same message. So if you're writing the book knowing there will be 10 programs coming out of the same information, then you should put everything there is to put in, that from day one, it's a sizable book that we can turn into too many different things I'm going to talk about. So never write this little booklet. No, I shouldn't use the word never. I say if you're able to, try to write a book over 125 pages. Why? Because anything below, I call them booklet. And the other thing is, when you're new and you're starting, and people say, and you say to people, I've written a book, and then you show this tiny little book, and then when Amazon prints it on their really laser printed book, the paper and the pages and the cover are a bit too thin. It becomes even smaller than it is if you print it from your local printer. So just try to do 125. I mean, for me, every single student of mine, no one has done a book under 150 pages. Now, yes, you might say it's a bit long. No, 150 pages to 200, that's the range I go for, because then it looks a bit of a sizable book, but at the same time, we have enough content from day one that we're going to create all other programs I'm going to talk about. So we start with the book. It's the most difficult to create. It's the one open more doors for you. Books, my 5 books have opened more doors for me than anything else. Each of my book is worth more than my house, purely because of the opportunities it presents for you. And I will show you exactly how to do that. But then the book will become into something else. The book will become also an ebook. So you take the physical hard copy type, and we can now create an ebook or a Kindle type. People can read on their phones, on their tablets. There's so many different devices today people use to read nowadays. If you've been on a train, you see people with their Kindles and their iPhones and all these types of tablets where people can read their electronic books. And then obviously from there, what do we do? Now you're going to read the book. Either you read it yourself or you get someone else to read it for you. When they read that book, guess what you have? You have an audio book. Those are now 3 products we just created. And then you go on and take out a few chapters and create what I call a special report. It's in a kind of a how-to type, summarize in a special report that would go and be distributed to give away for free to people to become your friends, join your mailing list, or you can send it to media or newspapers or whatever, and just make sure it helps you, opens more door for you. Now that's product number what? Product number 4, yes, book, ebook, audiobook, special report. What else can we create? Now we can take the book, gain the same information, and we're going to create a workbook around that. The workbook where people can go through that workbook and fill out as you're teaching them. They can go through that. Now that workbook becomes another product. Now you can go and create a PowerPoint to support that workbook. And if you go through that PowerPoint following the workbook, now guess what you have? The PowerPoint becomes a product added to the workbook. Now you have what you describe as a home study course. People can learn this in their homes. You can teach someone else to learn how to teach that from their homes. Now, if you do that from a PowerPoint, I also would like you to do it in the workshop environment where you're taking people through that particular workbook in an environment where you're talking to people in a one-to-one or the group of 10 or 20 or 100, doesn't matter how many. Now, because now you're doing it in an environment of a live environment, you do it a couple times, you start to become more comfortable with your message. Now we're going to record that and then turn into a DVD supported with the workbook. And remember, you have 2 types. You have a PowerPoint presentation, which is a home study course. Now you have a DVD set people can package and send it to people's homes, branded with your name and everything else. At the same stuff, we can now take the same information and now we can make sure it's available to be delivered to people online, either through membership, monthly membership, or what you call online courses where it can be delivered every day or every week for 12 weeks or 24 or 36 weeks, whatever the time that you choose to do that. Now, on top of that, because now you've been talking about this particular subject, now we can turn that into a speech, like a keynote speech. So you can speak over big presentations, small presentation, dinners in colleges, universities, and schools. You do that either by getting paid or you do that for free to promote your specific message. What else you can do once you're a speaker? Now, remember now we say you created a book, an ebook, an audio book, a special report, a workbook, a DVD, a home study course. When people come to you and say, can you work with me on a one-to-one, that becoming coaching. Anybody that requires your time on a one-to-one, they will be able to pay extra because they're going to take your time. You're going to spend more time with them. That is basically people come after learning everything about you. And then if they're corporations, then that's called consulting. You can help them. Again, the same information, same subject, nothing has changed. Same information. You're just becoming better and better around that information. Remember, now you send the same stuff out to people as DVD programs or membership programs. Like I said earlier, you can train and create certification programs within that area. You can take some students, those achieve the certification level, they achieve certain level of certification, and they can also be certified to teach other people. Then you create training program to others to go and share that message with other people, because you can never be in every single place at the time. You can only be at one place at the time. And remember, you can only reach certain numbers of people. You don't need to worry about building a list. People go on, you have to build a list. Don't worry. You will get to people. The people have the list. They're looking for your message, your information that will resonate to what they do with their lists, what they teach their people. And if you can help them make money, they'll be more than prepared to share their audience with you. And if you can basically make their audience benefit from your message, obviously that person is happy to share that with you. I'm happy to share the platform with you, provided you have something that I don't teach that you're going to share with my audience. Of course, why shouldn't I do that? Because I benefit in the process. And if you have a product actually we are going to sell in the process, not only my members are going to benefit, but when they buy, well, we split the commission. So that's how people make money in this industry. Don't ever sit down and think that you be the only one to make money. You have to have the partners and sponsors and people you can work with to help you get your message out there. So the certification that creates training program is really another way of expanding, amplifying your message to reach many people. What else can you do? Licensing some of your material to different parts of the country, part of the world. There are more than 100 countries that I know are credible you can do business with, but there are more than 2,000 regions within those 100 countries that you can license, let people sell your programs and they make money for themselves. In the meantime, they pay you to train them in the beginning, so you can do that. You can also create what I call mastermind groups. Mastermind groups, these are the people who go with you on some kind of retreat. They travel with you in some beautiful resorts around the world. I've done one in Boston, New York, London, and Dubai. We're hoping to do one either in South Africa and obviously in the Caribbean somewhere, because it's nothing more interesting to take those people who want to master your message, that really want to work with you. You go and spend a weekend together. They're on holiday, but they're learning, the brainstorming, they work together, they're creating business plan to take their business to another level. It's the really coolest way to travel, to have fun at the same time, energizing themselves, creating, ideas that ends up to become joint ventures within each other. They're incredible, and those people pay more for those kind of stuff. And then what else can you do? You can create different languages for your book. Most of my students, I encourage them to, translate their books in German, Spanish, Arabic, Mandarin. There's so many different languages out there, and French, because the more languages you have, the more opportunity in terms of licensing, but also you seem more credible. If I say my financial literacy or my actual system book translated in 5 different languages, it sounds more credible than if I said it's only translated in English, So also when I go to the Middle East, because my book is translated in Arabic, you become more authentic. It feels like you actually care about the market, and people actually understand and appreciate that. And besides, it's opening up more opportunities for you. Listen, there's so many different programs, and one of the things I talk about, once you have all those particular programs, then of course you're going to create affiliate programs. Affiliate is different from licensing, but anybody can sell your program, can tell people all over the world, I have an affiliate program that you can go and sell my programs. You can introduce me to people. Every sale they make, I pay 50%. We have so many of this program, you can do exactly the same thing. The point I'm trying to make here, that if you think of those products we've just created, a book, an ebook, an audiobook, a special report, a workbook, a home study course, a seminar, a webinar, a teleseminar, a coaching program, a 1-day or 2-day workshop, an affiliate program, a speaking program, a licensing program, a language that you turned into languages, transcribed, made your book available in different languages, mastermind groups. You create these affiliate, you can go and make your information available all over the world. You create some audio CDs which nothing to do with reading a book. Sometimes the same information available on a DVD, but people would rather listen to it in their car than watching on the DVD. So we create audio programs. All these things are there. When you have those programs, and I know our program is going to show you to do that in 90 days. Okay, to 120 days. But if you have those particular programs, just imagine, how would you fail to make money? Because you have so much to share with people. Even if you were to give these programs away for free, you make so many friends. Soon somebody will say, you know what, I want to work with you. I want you to help me move from here to there. You can have 10 clients can pay you $10,000. Or you can have 10 clients can pay $100,000. If I had a client, you pay me $100,000. So it really doesn't really matter the numbers. It really depends on what you do. Or you can create an online training programs. And I'm going to talk about some numbers here, because I think before I close this video, it would be a good idea to give you some ideas. Exactly what are we talking about? How much money can you make? Because I said earlier, your minimum income in this industry should be $100,000. I'm sure you're wondering, come on, Geoffrey, I don't make that kind of money. What makes you think that I can do it? Well, because these numbers are not that complicated. They're not big numbers. They're not out of reach for most people. And if this is what you want to do with your life, you're going to go out there and share your knowledge, your message with as many people as possible. And remember, you are learning. Something I've not emphasized enough. You are learning. You become better, wiser, stronger. Remember, the teacher benefits the most. As you're going through creating these particular programs, you're becoming better, wiser, stronger in this particular subject of yours, which means that your ability to deliver, to sell yourself out there become much, much more easier, because all the time and effort, the investment you've made to create these particular programs. So let's look at, if you wanted to make 100,000, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to use 50,000 as an example to keep the numbers low, because most people, $50,000, that's what they make in a year of working 9 to 5 every day, 5 days, a week, and that's 12 months down the road, and all they make, and they have to pay taxes on that. They have to, they don't end up with very much. Must be that's how much they make. So I'm going to show you to make that in just a few of these particular products. If you decide to choose 2 products, you're going to do the same thing. You can make 100,000. That should be your minimum income. So I'm going to give you some basic example that I can remember on top of my head, because I need to have a calculator here to work it out for you. But let's take the books for instance. If you created a 150-page book, and the average sale could be $19, could be $29, but let's imagine it's $19 per book. How many do you need to sell to make 50,000? You know the numbers. You get your calculator right. If I remember correctly, it was 2,632. Which basically means all you need to do is sell 219 every month in order for you to meet that figure. But if you're not doing that, then I'll be questioning, what are you doing every day? Because if you really deliver a free talk every single week, because you delivering the talk, because you're learning, you're mastering your message, people will say, where can we buy your stuff? Because they can see the stuff you have at the back of the room. They'll buy those books from you. So to sell 219 in a month, it won't be that complicated. We'll also show you how to sell 100 plus to companies who basically be more than happy to sponsor and work with you, because your message can help their clients. Your message can get them to be seen as they care for the people they're trying to support, or the people they want to sell the products and services to. Really depends on what you do. So one company can actually buy the 2,632 copies from you. It's possible. All you need to do, agree to deliver talks on their behalf all across the country, because they've really managed to agree, and because you self-published your book, you're able to brand them with the company's details if you choose to do so. So there's a way to get sponsorships in the book. We talk about that another day, but it's not a number that you can't do. Okay, what else you can do? What about things like audiobooks? If you create an audiobook, it'll be kind of, the number will go in half, because the audiobook costs like $40. So we get $39.95. So if you needed 2,632, an audiobook will be like, 1,315, or give or take, in order for you to make the similar amount of money. What about the audio program? An audio program is different from an audiobook. An audiobook, you can read it, or someone else can read it for you, because somebody reading word for word from a book. But an audio program is when you're going to teach. You're going to teach, either you teach live, or you teach, through your microphone, but you're going to be teaching. It's you, not one else. And you create 7 CDs to 10, or 6 to 10 CDs, where the people get like a pack of multiple CDs. They're going to learn about that particular message. That is costing more. The average cost of that is $295 US, but yours could be, because you're new, you can sell it for $197. So how many do you need to sell to make 50,000? As an example, 254. 254. You don't have to sell many. Now, even if you gave away the book for free, audio book for free, and you give them the CD program, when they buy a CD program, you give them the book and the audio book as a bonus. You still, basically, all you need to give away 21 a month. Sell 21 a month to make the 254 to make 50,000. To make 100,000, you just need to sell 580. It's 580. So not too many numbers you need to think of right now. What about the workbook? A workbook, remember, you create a workbook. A workbook costs more than the book, because it's something you have to take them through it. Either buy a workbook with a PowerPoint to take them through that, delivered over home study or online, doesn't really matter. But that you need to sell about 505, because the minimum the workbook you should price it for is $99. Okay, nothing less than that, because it requires your physical presence. So if you just did that either through a seminar, and you did one seminar, or you need 505 to make 50,000. So you can do that once a month, or once a year, or twice a year, or 4 times a year. It's entirely up to you. But the point is, to make 50,000, you just need to sell 505, and it's like 42 a month. Now you might be thinking, Geoffrey, even 500 is a lot. We'll show you how to use other people to help you reach more people. What else can you sell? What about things like membership programs? I love membership programs, because with a membership program, if you had like, 62 people paying you $67 a month, you make $50,000. Now, think about this. If you give away everything else we just talked about and just let them subscribe to your online training program, they pay $67 a month. You just need about 124 to make 100,000. Okay, or you need 1,204 people, give or take, and then 40 something, and in order for you to make 1,220, in order for you to make what? $1 million. Yes. I'm just trying to work out the numbers in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Because 62 makes you 50,000. 124 makes you 50,000, for 100,000. Okay, so which means, 1,240 makes you $1 million. So these numbers are doable, but let's not worry about the million. Let's talk about the money that you need to add as an extra income to what you do today. What else? Certification. Certification, you can charge from $2,000 all the way to $20,000. But if you make it, because you're new, by certifying people to go and sell your message and keep all the money, and you charge them $5,000 each, you need 10. There are almost 100 countries and 1,000 different regions you can basically sell your licenses to. You can certify people all over the world. 10. Group coaching, again, you should never charge less than $1,500, because coaching can take everything out of you. But group coaching, great. 32 people, In your group coaching, you make 50,000. You can have 3 group coachings each quarter or one a quarter. It's really entirely up to you. Or mastermind groups. Mastermind, you could charge 2,000 to 5,000, make it 2,000. Take 25 people away on a break, you make 50,000. There's so many incomes that I can't talk about today because although this video go on forever, but what I want you to understand is that the people out there making millions in this industry, sharing what you call a hobby. And remember, people don't buy from these people because they're the best, the super product. No, because those people, personality, those people stood up. Those people decided to get out there and share with the knowledge because they know there's someone out there they can actually inspire to do something. Because that person, when you look at those people, when they hear their story, they can say, he come from where I come from. You see, for me to be telling you what I'm telling you right now, which I share with you my story in the next video. I was working when I was 9 years old, because we were going through a war in my country. I worked as a spanner boy repairing cars at the age of 12. I was selling cosmetic stuff. I was born in Uganda, in the streets of Kampala. When I was like 13 years old. At 14 years old, I jumped on the plane. 15, I landed in the UK. I didn't speak English. I was too skinny to do manual labor jobs, but I learned something that was very important. Somebody said that everything you want to do, someone has already done it. And because of that, they're prepared to teach. They've written a book about it. They create programs and courses, and they can even take you by the hand and show you exactly what you want to do. That changed my life. Because I was like, I come from a country nobody teaches anything. Are you telling me in this country people can teach you everything you want to know? Absolutely. Those people have been there and they've been wealthy, and you need to join those people. Remember today, marketing is teaching. The companies that educate their people, their employees, their partners, their customers the most, they're the market leaders. You have to understand that. This is not for you. It's not an option. You want to get more pay rise from your job? You better become an expert at what you do. Otherwise, you'll be out of the door. If you want to generate an income to increase your partnership and collaborate with other people, you need to become better, stronger, wiser, more competent. If you want to help and make a difference in the world, share your message, your ideas with people all over the world, you better commit yourself to grow. Now, with that in mind, I want now to the end of this particular video. In the next video, I'm going to give you more information where I started, how I started, how you can create this particular program, and I'll talk about exactly why it's important to use these programs as the #1 marketing tool, either for you as an individual or your company or your community, because you will use that to impact and make a difference and become better, wiser, stronger, more competent, and double, quadruple your income, and do what you love, because this journey of life is supposed to be a little bit of fun, not to go through it as if we're in pain or something. And we can choose to do better, to be wiser, stronger, more competent, to be seen as people actually contribute to the economy, to society. Remember, before you log off, that each dollar you earn in this industry, you add $10 or $20 to the marketplace. That means you're more valuable than you'll become more valuable than you were before, and the world will be more thankful because you showed up and you decided to get out there and make more of a difference and create foundations and programs going to make this world a better place. And I thank you so much for the time you've taken to listen to me. This is a long video. As you can tell, I enjoy talking about this, but the next video we're going to get more details on where I started, how you can start, how you can use these books and program that we're going to create with you to help you use them for marketing, open more doors for you so you can go and quadruple your income and make a difference in the world at the same time. Until next time, you take care. God bless. Bye for now.